Tonight, grief and anger spill onto the steps of a Belmopan courtroom as the accused in the killing of a beloved doctor come face to face with those left behind. Then, justice delivered, a guilty verdict in a Christmas Eve murder that shocked a community. A growing alliance of indigenous voices now challenges the government over ancestral land rights in southern Belize. From diplomacy abroad to power at home, Oscar Arnold steps into a pivotal role shaping Belize's foreign policy, and outrage on Ambergris Caye. A $3,200 ambulance bill sparks a heated debate over the cost of emergency care. This is News 5 and it starts now.
Easy, accessible, safe, yours. Digi Wallet, easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's near you and get 19 to 25% off selected items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
Benny's, Benny's, oh, Benny's, 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 oh, Benny's.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Greater Belize Media. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Greater Belize Media.
We're here to commemorate the start of the construction of a STEAM pavilion.
It will be a place where students will be able to explore engineering, science, technology, arts, mathematics. A place where curiosity is encouraged, where ideas are truly put to the test.
This pavilion will feature state-of-the-art learning zones, including a fully equipped science laboratory for real-world experimentation, a modern recording studio to unleash creative and digital expression, an innovative maker space to encourage invention and prototyping, a collaborative learning street designed to foster spontaneous discussion and teamwork. Dedicated storage rooms, of course, we have quite a bit to do, so where will we put it? And facilities integrated with mechanical and electrical rooms to seamlessly support operations.
This new addition to our school will create more opportunities for us to conduct more experiments and those fun stuff like that.
I believe that this STEAM project will help students to be able to put their skills to the test.
I am excited for this opportunity, and I'm pretty sure that it will benefit my colleagues and also myself.
These STEAM pavilions are an expansion from our investment that we made through the ITSAT STEAM Academy in Belize City. These pavilions will be expanded, one in each district across the country, and this is just the beginning.
Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, June 5th. I'm Jamie Rock. A somber and tense scene unfolded outside the Belmopan Magistrates Court today as the case of slain physician Dr. Naun Bonilla took its first step through the justice system. 1 week after his shocking killing, the two people accused of his murder faced a lower court judge, while outside, grief and anger collided. Family, friends, and supporters gathered, coming face to face with the suspects in an emotional moment filled with tears, quiet reflection, and a shared demand for justice. With the investigation still ongoing, today's arraignment signals the start of what could be a closely watched legal battle. News 5's Shane Williams reports.
A heavy silence hung over the Belmopan Magistrates Court today as police escorted Hannah Foreman and Edwin Bertrand Jr. to be arraigned for the murder of Dr. Naun Bonilla. The pain of seeing for the first time those accused of killing their loved one was too much in this moment to muster an outburst. Clinging to one another for comfort, they shed quiet tears of relief as the suspects are led past, each step forward marking a move closer to justice.
We cannot allow that this crime goes unpunished. It is sad to see where we have come as a society. They did not only take away a life, but a lifesaver. And that is crazy.
Attorney Arthur Saldivar made a tense entrance at court today, greeted not with quiet anticipation, but with audible jeers from onlookers gathered outside. He is representing Edwin Bertrand Jr. Before he could give us an interview, Bonilla's relative had some emotional but respectful words for him.
The pain is too much, and you can see I'm still, but the pain is huge. But we have a God, and then we know that He's our best lawyer. And God will, we are hoping for justice to be done in God's will.
We know that this is a very highly scrutinized case. The fact that Dr. Bonilla was murdered is not lost on anyone. Certainly, on both sides of the bar, we want justice to be done. Justice for Dr. Bonilla is important, and justice for Dr. Bonilla means that the right persons are before the court. If they are the right persons and the evidence holds up, then the outcome will be what it should be. If it is that they are not the right persons, and all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty, then the outcome will be justice in that respect as well.
Attorney Richard Dickey Bradley represents Hannah Foreman. The accused will reappear in court in September for disclosure.
The charge follows the principle of joint enterprise, which pretty much states that when two persons plan or commit an offense together, they can be liable for the independent conduct of each other. So even where a person may not have pulled the trigger that caused the demise of the other person, that person can still be liable for murder because there is some indication of their involvement in the planning of the act.
Police are continuing to build their case, adding new evidence to the file after making 2 arrests in just 6 days.
We relied heavily on the public safety monitoring unit and the camera system that they have there. We also relied heavily on the digital forensics unit of the Belize Police Department Cybercrime Unit. Similarly, great assistance came from the Financial Intelligence Unit, and certainly the diligence of the police officers who spent extraordinary amount of time, the investigators, going through a number of footage which helped to paint a picture and take us to where we are now.
Investigators believe Dr. Naun Bonilla was killed after a business relationship with Foreman turned sour, sparking disputes and civil court action. Meanwhile, Bonilla's brother Angel says he wishes he had one last chance to tell him something, underscoring the personal heartbreak behind the case.
If I had ever, even in my wildest dream, considered that this would have happened, I would have convinced my brother to drop the case and to leave it alone, because nothing is worth a life. there's nothing that can replace the big void that has been left in our family.
A High Court judge has found 31-year-old Shaquille Pereira guilty of murder and attempted murder in the Christmas Eve 2023 shooting on Mascal Street that left Darnell Puerto dead and Javon Ramclan injured. Justice Nigel Pilgrim delivered the verdict late Thursday, relying heavily on Ramclan's eyewitness account. He described Pereira as the gunman, saying he saw him clearly under a street light before running for cover. Puerto was shot multiple times and died at the scene. Ramclan survived, and his testimony proved decisive. Pereira denied involvement, claiming he was elsewhere, but the court rejected that defense. Justice Pilgrim ruled the prosecution proved its case and said an identification parade wasn't necessary because the witness already knew the accused. Sentencing is set for July 6th, with reports ordered ahead of that hearing. Tonight, a 66-year-old woman is counting herself lucky after a frightening home invasion in Cristo Rey village. Police say 2 armed men forced her into her home just as she stepped out of her vehicle, then began ransacking the property. But the situation could have been far worse thanks to a quick-thinking neighbor who called the police as the crime unfolded. Officers moved in fast, chasing down one suspect and recovering a firearm, ammunition, and stolen jewelry. Investigators say the incident is a powerful reminder of how vital it is for residents to report anything suspicious.
San Ignacio Police were advised that an aggravated burglary was in process at a residence on the outskirts of Cristo Rey village. The officers responded immediately, and upon their arrival, they proceeded to ransack the residence, packaging a number of items. However, when they heard a vehicle approaching, presumably the police's mobile, they fled. Making off with solely the jewelry because they were not able to take the other items that they had packaged.
ASP Stacey Smith says the swift police response highlights the value of neighborhood watch groups and investing in surveillance cameras. The fight over the fate of the LIU employment program is less about policy and more about accountability. Opposition voices are demanding answers and an apology. Queen Square Area Representative Godwin Haylock says the Briceño administration shortchanged Belize City by shutting down a program many residents depended on, arguing the government still owes the city a properly run LIU initiative. But the government isn't backing down. Home Affairs Minister Oscar Mira is flatly rejecting the criticism, accusing the opposition of twisting the facts and dismissing their narrative outright. What started as a debate over a jobs program has quickly turned into a war of words over who's really telling the truth and who's responsible for what comes next.
This PUP government owes an apology to all the youths in Belize City that they did this to. More than that, this PUP government was this nation a successful LIU program. It's very, very critical in Belize City that we implement a successful LIU program. Instead of relying on police arrests and police enforcement, we saw the LIU program rise when the government got in 2020, 2021, sometime around there. He brought new strategy. It attempted to address gang violence and crime in a new way, not just by arresting the youth and push them to jail. I think past minister from Caribbean Shores certainly knows that program well. It would be interesting, Mr. Speaker, to hear his position on how they push out the youths today, because this type of program he has worked on for 5 years, not 6 months like the current minister right now.
It makes me wonder what he's talking about, because it's certainly you're not talking about what you mentioned a successful LIU. You may be probably talking about LIE, a lie, because the LIU has not been stopped. That has not been stopped. The restructuring of the LIU is now focusing on the next generation of at-risk youths.
The program employed over 500 Belize City residents. A major overhaul of Belize's domestic violence laws is on the table, but questions are already surfacing about whether the country is ready to make it work. Inside the National Assembly, lawmakers debated a new domestic violence and intimate partner bill designed to replace the existing law with stronger protection for victims. But even as the promise of reform takes shape, concerns are mounting. Training for senior justices of the peace who are expected to issue interim protection orders is still incomplete, and there are growing doubts about whether the Briceño administration has the budget to support the sweeping changes outlined in the plan.
There are interim protection orders by select senior justices of the peace now. We do hope that this can be rolled out very soon. The training is still taking place, and in the eyes of some people it may be taking a bit longer than what we would like to see.
The very most important question, I believe, because all of this on paper sound good, you know, where is the budget allocated for this bill? Where is the money? Mr. Speaker, they just cut $55 million out of the budget. And I hope that they do make good cuts, maybe from capital projects or stuff like that, you know, street repairs, you know. But this is important. Or maybe some of that LIU money.
It's unfortunate that we have this culture where men feel that they can abuse, be it either physically, financially, or mentally, women. And that is totally unacceptable. And I know that my wife Rosanna has been speaking out on this issue for quite some time, and even from time to time I have to call out the police. You all made the point on the police department. I think that there are many people in the police department that are trying, but there are some that still can't get out of that culture, of that macho culture. And also in some instances where the police gets frustrated because the woman initiates a case, but then when things cool off, they come back and say, I want to withdraw those charges.
Belize Crime Observatory data shows women make up 70 to 80% of victims, with young adults facing the highest risk. After the break, two rising contenders ready to clash for the PUP mayoral ticket. But the big question tonight, where does Anthony Mahler stand?
Hello friends, I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Recently, a Belizean pastor friend was visiting with me, and I took him to meet a friend at a cellular telephone business. The friend gave him a cell phone. While the cell phone was in perfect condition, you could make no calls because it had not been activated. When my friend returned to Belize, he immediately had the telephone activated and began making calls. You see, the phone without being activated by the Belize Telephone Company was useless. It was activation by the telephone company that made the difference. I have thought of my friend often since he got his phone activated. God has put within every man the ability to communicate with Him. However, to communicate with God, you must get your prayer life activated. How do you do this? You do this by believing in Jesus Christ, God's Son, as your Savior. Through Him, we are able to have direct access to God's throne. This is what the Bible means when it says, "For there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Jesus Christ." Let me invite you to come to Christ today and activate your prayer life in order to communicate with your God. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Our story was built by people, neighbors helping neighbors, standing side by side with those who trust us to protect what matters most and help build our communities. Being there when needed most. Across borders, across generations, Still growing, still giving, still just getting started. After 185 years.
They're not just cigarette. Vape, hookah, cigar, and all kind of tobacco product, Lego, dangerous smoke, and toxic chemical. When you smoke or vape, that cloud they not disappear. It turn into second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke where people wrong your breathing. That kind of smoke that could cause cancer, diabetes, lungs disease, and heart problems. It could kill anybody who get exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, go outside, far from people. Everybody deserves to breathe clean air.
Get ready, Dangriga! Something big is coming your way! Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage. Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
Haven't updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
A growing alliance among indigenous groups is putting new pressure on the government over land rights in southern Belize. The National Garifuna Council is gaining support as Maya leaders step forward to stand in solidarity with Garifuna communities caught in the ongoing City River Hopkins dispute. At the heart of the tension is a government-led effort to redraw village boundaries, one that Garifuna leaders say threatens ancestral land claims. As the issue draws national attention, the City River Village Council is also weighing in, signaling its willingness to work with authorities on the process. But with competing interests on the table, the bigger question is now whose claim will shape the future of these lands? News 5's Brittany Gordon reports.
Pressure is mounting on the government to settle long-running land disputes in southern Belize, as officials press ahead with plans to formally define village boundaries. Now the issue is gaining even wider attention. The Garifuna Nation, a global advocacy group, is stepping into the conversation, making its position clear and backing calls to protect ancestral land rights. With voices growing louder at home and abroad, the push for a resolution is only intensifying.
Belize did not become independent until September the 21st, 1981. That's a lot of years. We have been living autonomously in our communities since then. So for them to come now and say, oh, you know what? We own this land, we're going to tell you what to do, that's not going to happen.
Maya leaders are now adding their voices to the fight. In a strong statement this week, the Maya leaders of southern Belize declared full solidarity with the Garinagu, backing their push to defend ancestral land rights under international law. The group says real justice will only come through unity and resistance, and they're committing to standing side by side with the Garifuna communities. Garifuna advocate Joseph Guerrero welcomed the support, calling it a powerful endorsement from a group he describes as pioneers in the struggle for indigenous rights in Belize.
The Honduran government was doing the same thing Belize is doing to us, which is to title out our territorial land to individuals without our free, prior, and informed consent, from which they won their case at the IACHR. They have won all the cases they have taken against the Honduran government at the IACHR level. If you recall, I think the Maya also tried, they did that after the government of Belize courts initially barred the Maya from even going to court for their rights. Their support is greatly appreciated by the Garifuna Nation. We do have a relationship with the Maya Leaders Alliance.
Meanwhile, even as calls for indigenous land rights grow louder, the City River Village Council is striking a more measured tone. The council says it's committed to doing things by the book, working with the government to clearly define village boundaries. Chairman Wendell McDougall Jr. says they're already providing key information to guide that process, but he's also making it clear that the council has no intention of harming neighboring communities. So, as pressure builds on all sides, the challenge now is finding a path forward that respects both due process and long-standing ancestral claims.
They're our neighbors, our friends, our family. And as like I said, we don't have any issues with our people. We'll remain friends, family. We have loved ones, neighboring villages. It's just for us, it's just following the process. The indigenous rights and different stuff they want to put forth, that's a different matter. That's not for us to divest in, it's just a different matter. If any group want to see something like that through, well, that's a process for the high courts to take up.
Candice Kelly reiterates that while the council is determined to resolve the issue, they wish to keep all the proceedings amicable.
We've been back and forth with this from over the past 15 years, and we've met with the village council, different chairpersons from Hopkins, trying to resolve the matter. It just so happens now that the time has come that the government has appointed a commission now to see the matter forward. But it has nothing to do with the experts fighting against the Garinagas.
The National Garifuna Council is rallying support, calling on the Garinaga at home and abroad, and all Belizeans to stand up for indigenous land rights. The group says land is the foundation of identity and culture, and it's backing that message with action, launching a legal defense fund to fuel advocacy and court battles. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The City River Village Council says that it has already submitted all relevant documents and maps to proceed with the matter. Fuel prices and the ripple effect they're having on everyday expenses stirred lively exchange in the House of Representatives on Thursday as the cost of living debate took a more pointed turn. Seizing the moment at adjournment, Mesopotamia Area Representative Lee Mark Chang went straight to the Briceño administration, pressing for answers on soaring fuel costs and how they're driving up prices from groceries to basic services. Chang didn't stop there. He also put the government's 2026 investment budget under the microscope, questioning whether those millions could be better spent easing the financial strain on Belizean households.
And let me be clear, Mr. Speaker, nobody is against development. I know they're against development. Nobody is against roads, but development must have priorities. Because road alone cannot solve hardships, Mr. Speaker. We cannot eat streets. A family struggling to buy fuel cannot feed their children with asphalt. A taxi operator cannot pay their bills with ribbon cutting. That is the economy of Belize, right, Mr. Speaker? All of those are economy of Belize and the transportation costs. A farmer cannot move produce with press releases. And so has this government. In a time of fuel crisis, in a time of rising cost of living, in a time when bus strikes brought the country to a standstill, is this the right moment to be spending $606 million in capital projects?
Mr. Speaker, I think if you go and you look at the reality that the world is facing is based on something that you look at any television station that's giving news, you would know. But listening to that presentation, it would seem like we need to share some news that has been going on in the world for some months now. There's been a situation in the Gulf of Hormuz that is near to Iran. There's been a military
conflict going on there. And it has created a problem with world prices for oil.
The government of Belize recently committed to resume publishing notices of fuel increase. Belizeans nationwide are growing increasingly concerned over soaring electricity bills. Amid the complaints voiced by Belize Electricity Limited's customers on social media, the Public Utilities Commission has issued a notice reminding Belizeans to closely monitor their electricity meters and compare readings with monthly bills. Previously, BEL attributed the perceived spike to the rising temperatures and encouraged customers to take measures to keep their homes and businesses cool to prevent appliances from driving up costs. In the notice, the PUC explained that rising temperatures can drive higher household consumption. However, they also explained the steps customers can take if they spot differences compared to their past electricity usage. Customers are advised to first contact Belize Electricity Limited's Customer Care Department for clarification, and if concerns remain unresolved, escalate the matter through the PUC's complaint channels. The PUC noted that this reminder is part of its regularly conducted consumer education campaign regarding utility services and the complaint mechanisms available to consumers to help Belizeans understand their bills and be aware of the complaint resolution process should concerns arise. The PUC stated that complaints can cover a range of utility bills and several issues, including billing errors, metering problems, service disconnections or interruptions, installation issues, damage, safety concerns, and other utility-related practices. A fiery debate over a multi-million-dollar loan quickly turned into a political showdown in the House of Representatives. Opposition members went on the offensive, accusing the Briceño administration of piling on debt and steering Belize down a risky financial path. But the Prime Minister didn't just defend the borrowing. He went on the attack. Briceño responded by revisiting the country's recent economic history, drawing sharp comparisons with the previous UDP administration and arguing his government has managed the economy more responsibly. The exchange escalated as Briceño took pointed jabs at former UDP Vice Chair Alberto August, turning what started as a policy debate into a clash over past performance and political credibility.
By the time we come to 2020, Mr. Speaker, you know what was the GDP? Thank God you did sit down. The GDP went from PUP 2008, $11,332 to UDP GDP in 2020, $10,418. They regressed by 8%. In 13 years, they spending over $30 billion. You never expect was high school kid would have do better than that. But yet, they got lawyer, they got economists, they got engineer, I think. They got all kind of people over there. But yet, instead you could see growth. You saw a contraction in the spending of the money of this country, of our people. And then they come here to pontificate. They come here to point fingers. Like, really, man? You should be saying nothing. Yes, yeah, but COVID, for them, everything is COVID, you know. Look at actually, yes, we had COVID for 13 years under the UDP because that's why nothing happened. 13 years of COVID. Now you make them, how the man August name, what they name? Alberto August want to go and expose against you this year. I don't know what you talk about. I want to help you. I want to help you. I don't want them to do that to you. I don't want to do that to you. Alberto August, not even measure in my radar. But it does to you because it's the one that you own, and one that you own the most violent things about you. So you don't expel them from the UDP? You don't expel them from the UDP? Huh? You don't expel them from the UDP? Alberto August, don't expel them from the UDP, boy. But we don't want you. We don't want you at the PUP at all.
Belize's debt-to-GDP ratio stands at 68%, down from 120% in 2020. With a key political race taking shape in Belize City, attention is turning to one man whose backing could tip the scales. Two young contenders, Eliud Miller and Alan Pollard, are set to face off in the PUP mayoral convention. But where does Pickstock area Representative Anthony Mahler stand? Widely seen as a major influencer in city politics, Mahler's support could prove decisive. We asked him today. Here's what he had to say.
I won't say my support publicly right now, but I think it's a healthy democracy. We have two young aspirants who have energy and who are creative, and then we'll see where that goes. But I can't say that publicly right now. I have to get the full support of my executive to see where we will go.
You don't consider that it's Alan Pollard's time? There was something that happened in the last election when he was ready to run at that time and he was asked to step aside. So it's never going to be his time?
Well, I think that's a loaded question. They told Barack Obama that it wasn't his time, and he said that it was his time and it became his time. So if you really want something, you'll go for it. They've said that to me in the past. Well, none of your time, neither. Well, go somewhere else or go do this. And then you say, all right, if the next candidate or a few candidates who want to come, let's go to a convention and let's see where that ends up. Right?
Reports suggest City Administrator Candace Pitts may also be eyeing the post, but she hasn't confirmed or denied it. Still ahead, Belize moves ahead on full free movement with CARICOM, but is it stepping out alone?
Member owners of St. John's Credit Union Limited, mark your calendars. Join us for the 80th Annual General Meeting on Saturday, June 13, 2026 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's all happening at St. Catherine Academy's Mercy Center Auditorium on Marine Parade Boulevard, Belize City. Your voice matters. Come take part in the discussion on our transformation, member benefits, and plans. Registration starts at 8 a.m. Come out, cast your vote, and help shape your credit union's future. Plus, get ready to win prizes throughout the event. For 80 years, St. John's Credit Union has stood with its member owners. Now, we look ahead to the next chapter. Together, you're more than a number. You're a member owner. St. John's Credit Union Limited. Safe saving, smart borrowing.
At Habet and Brothers Habet, celebrate your super handy dad with gifts he'll actually use and enjoy super savings all June. Like 15% off all power tools and Stanley hand tools, 20% off Vento PVC windows, 20% off Ascot porcelain tiles and 30% off Piso Forte ceramic tiles, and 40% off Sunlight windows and doors. Plus, stop in at Brothers Habet every Saturday for our veranda clearance blowout. And for every $50 you spend, get a chance to win a power tool every Saturday. Visit Habet and Brothers Habet today and give Dad something worthy of his super handiness. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
After serving on the front lines of Belize's diplomacy with Mexico, Oscar Arnold is stepping into a key role back home, bringing that experience to the center of government. The former ambassador has now taken the reins as Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, shifting from representing Belize abroad to helping shape its foreign policy from within. In a recent interview, Arnold looked back on his time in Mexico, highlighting the lessons and relationships he says will now guide his approach as he helps steer Belize's international agenda forward.
When the pandemic subsided a little bit and everything opened up, we were ready to hit the ground running. In that line of work, face-to-face, building relationships is something that you really can't do through a computer screen or through a monitor. It was good to kind of keep informed and having meetings and so on, but when it opened up, then it really hit the ground running, making relationships, deepening relationships of this like that. My experience was a wonderful experience. I believe we did a lot. It was a successful tour of duty in Mexico. Working along with some of the other ministries here, Ministry of Agriculture, for example, Foreign Trade, we were able to ensure that cattle is now penetrating the Mexican market, that our cattle farmers, many of whom are very small, they have 5-10 head of cattle, can access that market and get a better price per pound for their cattle. So that is a good thing. We are now looking at other commodities to penetrate the Mexican market. Earlier this year, Silkgrass Farms sent 2 containers full of coconut water to one of the companies there as a testing, and I think that went well. And now we're discussing the coconut nut, the entire coconut, to be exported to Mexico. So those are ongoing discussions, and we should have a decision on that very soon.
Just days into his new role as Chief Executive Officer of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Oscar Arnold says there is no time to ease into the job. With regional partnerships, trade initiatives, and the international engagement already on the agenda, Arnold says his focus is on maintaining momentum and ensuring Belize's interests remain at the forefront of the ministry's work. He told us he's already begun meeting with staff and stakeholders as he settles into the position.
This week has flown by quickly. I didn't even think it was Friday because of dealing with so many issues, but I am enjoying it thus far. Engaging with people is what I enjoy a lot, and so I've been doing a lot of that. We have to engage now, or I will have to engage with the resident ambassadors who are here, ensuring them that the work of the foreign ministry continues. It's not that we will be here disrupting anything. We do have a work plan as a ministry, yearly, quarterly, monthly work plan, and that will continue. And I'm hoping to provide whatever expertise I bring to the table to enhance that and to try to accomplish the work plan that we have set out for the ministry. This month, we will assume the pro tem presidency of SICA, so that is another big milestone for us. Ambassador Amalia Mai still is the point person for SICA, so she is coordinating all the efforts, coordinating all the meetings, and the summit whenever that comes for us to take that over. Prime Minister, we have a delegation that will travel for the OAS meeting in Panama, so that is another big thing that we will be looking at as well. We will be signing an agreement, a trade agreement with Salvador pretty shortly, formalizing it, and so we are arming another delegation to look at that, because we will also be selling and doing more commerce and trade with Salvador. So as you can see, we keep very busy here at the ministry, and it's just to try to lead the team and continue with the growth and continue with the direction that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade is going.
Belize is cementing its influence in regional tourism leadership. The head of Belize Tourism Industry Association, Efren Perez, has just been unanimously re-elected to lead FEDECATUR, one of the region's most influential tourism bodies. It's a clear vote of confidence from the Central America and the Dominican Republic, signaling strong backing for Perez's push to boost collaboration, sustainability, and innovation across the industry. Now, with a second term secured, the focus shifts to what next, how he plans to build on that momentum, and position the region to stay competitive in a rapidly evolving tourism market. We caught up with Perez today for a closer look at his roadmap moving forward.
Our focus is looking at greater collaboration between public sector entities, especially the ministries of tourism, and also looking at avenues and opportunities that we would be able to provide capacity building for private sector in terms of training, in terms of certifications, and also opportunities where we would be able to open pathways where multi-destination travel can occur within all the destinations. So we have to be a bit much more aggressive in terms of the movement of people. We have to remain competitive. We have to also look at the quality and standards that are being offered by the destinations, particularly when it comes to the private sector itself. And so those are some of the key focuses that I am taking into consideration for this term. Greater collaboration and dialogue within all the region with the private sector and public. Programs like these agreements that we're signing in terms of the connectivity and the mobility plans within the region not only involve the tourism stakeholders, but they also involve other private public sector entities. For example, immigration is one of those that we'd have to have continuous dialogue with. And so it does open an opportunity. And we are very focused in terms of really starting to build that momentum and making that shift to take advantage of what is available within our region.
Perez says Belize could benefit from a new regional tourism pact among Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador designed to boost connectivity and cut airfare, opening the door to easier travel and stronger links across Central America. Belize is moving ahead with a bold step, joining 3 other CARICOM nations to allow full, unrestricted, free movement among their citizens. But while Belize pushes forward with the legislation to bring the agreement to life, the other countries have yet to follow suit. That timing is drawing scrutiny. The opposition is now pressing the government, questioning whether Belize is putting its own people at a disadvantage by acting first. But Prime Minister John Briceño is brushing off those concerns, insisting the move poses no risk and urging Belizeans not to worry.
We're the first country to now have a legally binding law. I say that, Member for Orange Walk Central and Mr. Speaker, that our officers, when they travel to Coated for these meetings to advance trade arrangements or any kind of contingency rights, should first ensure that Belizeans are taken into account. I would have been satisfied if what we were told, that the countries have agreed that in 6 months, all territories would have enshrined legislation, but that is not the case. I ask, Mr. Speaker, and member for Orange Walk Central, when can this piece of legislation be expected in the territories that have signed on?
To allay the fears of people that they think that everybody are rushing to Belize, Mr. Speaker, since we began implementation on the 1st of October 2025, last year, so far the official reporting shows that we've had 83 CARICOM nationals that have entered under the free movement framework. And guess what? Of the 83 of them, only 2 of them are currently residing in Belize. Only 2.
The free movement agreement came into effect at the start of October 2025. There is major news coming out of Caribbean Development Bank's 56th annual meeting in the Bahamas. Belize has been elected to hold the chairmanship of the CDB Board of Governors for the 2026-2027 term. Minister of State Dr. Osman Martinez attended the event. So what does this mean for Belize? Well, it transitions us from a standard borrowing member into strategic regional leadership to steer development agendas across the Caribbean.
Belize is deeply honored to accept the chairmanship of the Board of Governors for the upcoming period as we prepare to host the 57th annual meeting in June 2027. This occasion marks a significant milestone for us as Belize will be hosting the annual meeting for the second time since 1994. Belize approaches this responsibility with both humility and ambition.
As Belize prepares to take on this chairmanship, we do so with a distinct sense of purpose and possibility. Our country occupies a unique space in our region, geographically part of Central America, historically and culturally rooted in the Caribbean, and deeply committed to the shared prosperity of both. That position has shaped much of our approach to development. It has taught us that resilience does not happen in isolation. It is built through connection and integration.
Belize last hosted the Caribbean Development Bank annual meeting in 1994. Coming up, a life-saving ambulance ride ends with a $3,200 bill. The provider defends the charge, but the backlash is just getting started.
My name is Dr. Rosita Jimenez, and I'm a general laparoscopic surgeon. We have just finished an emergency appendectomy, and we're now moving on to our second operating theater for our laparoscopic gallbladder screening. Basically, this is very easy to diagnose. Simple abdominal ultrasound or a pan-abdominal ultrasound can give us the diagnosis. Laparoscopic gallbladder removal surgeries, 90 to 80% of the time, are done due to gallstones. However, there are other conditions like tumors, malfunctioning of the gallbladder, that also are reasons to get a laparoscopic surgery. We also have an amazing CT scan and X-ray unit who work hand in hand with our doctors. Instruments used in laparoscopic surgery are chokers like these. It makes it easy for us to do the surgery through these entry ports. The recovery process is excellent. Basically, within a week, you are back up, ready to do your job, your daily life activity, like if you hadn't had this surgery.
In Belize, change is taking shape every day. It all starts with Game Changers. Investing in modern transport, better health infrastructure, renewable power for all, digital transformation, and more opportunities for a brighter future, the European Union's Global Gateway Initiative is unlocking new potential. Game Changers are bringing this to life. Game Changers, empowering the future. Follow the EU in Belize to meet the game changers.
We're ready for the road. We're ready for the road. So we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. Yeah, we're ready. 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 Yeah, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready.
Your security, our top priority. We guard your world with strength and integrity. From home, cars and rentals, business too. We make protection simply easy for you. BB Insurance, trusted and true. Clear policies assured. Fast claims too. No appointment needed. Just swing by. Locations countrywide where peace resides.
BB Insurance, your security, our priority.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progreso, Belize City, Orange Rock, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
Season 8 of KTV. I want baby. This is a moment. If you got the voice, the vibe, and the passion to leave everything you've got on this stage. Mark your calendar and get camera ready. Auditions are June 6th and 7th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. At a Greater Belize, Leisure Studios and Tony Drive, Belize City. Selected contestants will enter the KTV Season 8 competition, and the lucky winner will go home with a 10,000 grand prize. This is your moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want. This is your moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? I want for me. This is your moment.
Every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
The government is pushing forward with a new national health insurance legislation that would replace the current commission with a more powerful NHI authority, one designed to take the lead on delivering services. But that shift is raising concerns. Opposition leader Tracy Panton is questioning whether the proposed structure truly serves Belizeans or concentrates too much control in the hands of a few. Prime Minister John Briceño and Health Minister Kevin Bernard are defending the plan, but as the bill moves forward, the real fight may be over trust, oversight, and who gets to call the shots in Belize's healthcare future.
Belize already has positive experience within the NHI pilot programs. It shows that increased access to primary care, improved patient satisfaction, better health outcomes in participating regions. This bill builds on what already works, scaling it nationally rather than reinventing the system. And a healthier population also, Mr. Speaker and colleagues, leads to a higher productivity, reduced absenteeism, lower employment healthcare burdens, and businesses can benefit from a workforce that is fit, healthy, and insured.
It is our duty as legislators to ensure that any policy decision that we institute and any laws that we put in place that is passed by this House serves the best interests of our Belizean people and not merely the interests of those who occupy the seat of power. One of the most troubling aspects of this bill is the absence of sufficient evidence to justify the structure that is being proposed.
The leader of the opposition make it seem as if NHI is replacing the functions and the roles of the Ministry of Health. Let me be absolutely clear, and for the clarification to the Belizean people, the regulatory functions of all health systems in this country falls under the auspices of the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
NHI covers citizens nationwide across all 6 districts. Island Emergency Services is under fire after a costly emergency response on Ambergers Key. Director Abner Bakab says his team rushed to Secret Beach when a tourist fell and needed urgent transport. They carried the immobilized patient 8 miles to San Pedro Polyclinic, then billed $3,200 for the round trip. Bakab defends the charge, pointing to the company's $200 per mile rate and insisting the patient's wife signed off before later disputing it. Now the case, shared online and reported to police, is fueling debate over the high cost of private emergency care on the island. Bakab says despite the backlash, his team acted professionally and remains committed to serving the community.
The person had went back to the hospital after receiving the receipt, and she had inquired with some of the employees of the hospital, and she showed them the receipt, and they said, well, you know what, this person is overcharging you, he's taking advantage of you, he's committing fraud and all of these things. They said you should post him on Facebook and actually go and make a report to the police station, of which the following day I did go to the station, was called by one of the officers in charge, and we met and we discussed about it with the officer being there, the patient's wife. She said her story, everything that she felt that she needed to say, In the end, although she had posted me on Facebook and she had, to a certain point, been slandering my name and defaming our ambulance service, like how I told her, tomorrow you fly to America, your life goes on, but what you have done here for me, I have to live with it. I live here. I've been living here for 26 years. Nonetheless, I'm still prepared to offer you a reimbursement of 500 US, 1,000 Belize, of which she refused, So we couldn't reach an agreement, and then we didn't have more to talk about, I was generous enough to say, we will give you a discount apart from what she had done, but she didn't accept, so she continued her day, and I went on with my day as well.
The customer subsequently disputed the credit card charges at the bank. However, Bakab has submitted his supporting documents and the matter is now under review. Tonight, a family and a community across Belize are heartbroken, and an elderly Belizean woman was killed in Houston, Texas after being struck by a vehicle while crossing Fondren Road. Reports are that on June 1st, 2026, 80-year-old Virginia Foreman was crossing with a walker outside a Mart crosswalk when she was hit, suffering facial injuries at the scene. The driver, a young woman, remained at the location and cooperated fully with investigators. Houston police confirmed there were no signs of impairment or reckless driving, and no charges have been filed as the case remains under review. Foreman's death has sent shockwaves through her family and the wider Belizean community, where she's being remembered as a beloved mother and friend. Police have yet to confirm if any arrest has been made. Up next, on the bright side, a 95-year-old fisherman proves age is no limit, and his secret to living well might surprise you.
Insurance fact. Did you know with Home Protector Insurance, construction projects can receive insurance coverage from start to finish? We offer a variety of bonds. This includes bid bonds, advance payment bond, performance bonds, or others. Let Home Protector be a part of your team and help safeguard you through your next project. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
Every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
Belize Electricity Limited is pleased to announce the holding of its 2025 Annual General Meeting at the BEL Corporate Headquarters at 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway, Belize City, Belize, at 3:00 p.m. on Thursday, June 18, 2026. For registration purposes, shareholders are advised to bring along a valid identification such as a Social Security card. Shareholders who are unable to attend may choose, and we encourage you to exercise this right, to appoint your proxy, or you can simply appoint the company's executive chairman or the corporate secretary as your proxy to represent you at the AGM. Proxy forms can be submitted at the BEL corporate headquarters at 2.5 miles Philip Golson Highway or via email at shares@bel.com.bz no later than 5:00 p.m. on June 16, 2026. For more information or assistance, contact BEL's Securities Officer at 501-227-0954, extension 1512.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
In the coastal village of Hopkins, you won't find history tucked away in dusty archives. You see it come alive on the sea and along the sandy streets. Tonight on The Bright Side, Sabrina Daly takes us out to meet a man who's been casting his nets since he was just 14 years old, and he's never looked back. At 95, he is the oldest resident in this Garifuna community, a man whose daily routine of hard work and neighborhood love is a masterclass in healthy living. We go to Hopkins to meet the man everybody calls Bobo.
In Hopkins, everyone knows Bobo. Not by his given name, just Bobo. At 95 years old, he's not just the oldest man in the village, he's also one of its busiest, still up and still going strong. His days don't follow the slow pace one might expect at nearly a century old. They follow the rhythm of the sea. What time do you go to sleep at night?
At night, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I sleep. Go out fishing if the weather is good. 4 o'clock in the morning, have my tea, coffee, and go out.
Bobo has built his reputation on a foundation of hard work. And at 95, he's on the go, tending to his property, riding his bike, and still making a living as a fisherman. To his neighbor, Jason Flores, Bobo's tireless energy is a daily marvel.
Bobo is a hard-working man. We always talk, and Bobo always say, I love you, I always admire you, because we always work together. Sometimes Bobo come in the morning, he will rake the beach for me. He always finds something to do every day, regardless of, it don't matter on, it's Sunday or Monday, Bobo works sometimes 10, 11, Bobo is raking there, always find something to do.
Bobo has centered his life's work on the sea since he was just 14. 8 decades later, the water is still where his spirit thrives.
Fishing is my life, man. It's my life completely. And sometimes when I think, I'm so old, but I still have that, not as before, you know, but I still have that spirit. I don't do it as before, but I'm still doing it.
Watching him work is like witnessing a master at his craft. His movements are steady and deliberate. He places the weighted edge of the net between his teeth, keeping everything balanced before the release. He pivots, flings, and the mesh blooms like a flower, landing silently on the ground. It's a skill built not from formal instruction, but from a lifetime of careful observation.
The things I see I imitate it. What I see, as I tell you, when I got it, I put it aside.
Now it was my turn to try. But what Bubba makes look as easy as breathing is actually a precise balance of skill, timing, and strength. When I asked if he ever had a teacher, he explained that his wisdom was caught, not taught.
Did you learn how to throw this on your own? Or did someone teach you?
The way I see somebody throw it, I copy from them.
Bubba spent a lifetime learning from the good he saw and making it his own. As an elder, he is now the benchmark for the community. For Chairlady Ella Carr, Bubba represents the strength of their roots and a living foundation of wisdom and history.
When it comes to the elderlies in the community, they are the foundation of this community. They carry the wisdom and also culture, the history. So they're the one who are to guide us the right way, and we are to respect them and also learn from them.
That wisdom wasn't found in books. It was a choice Bubba made as a young boy to find the best in people and make it his own.
You know, Bubba, from my youth, when I see something that is good, I say to myself sometimes when I grow up, I'm going to do that because I see that it is good.
Today, the good people see in James Castillo is a heart that still has room for everyone. At 95, Bubba knows exactly how he wants his story to end.
Remembered as a people person?
Oh, yes, man. You know, this old man here, no, Bubba. Anybody who passes, Bubba. Why? Because we are talking about love.
How does that make you feel?
I feel happy, man, because I'm caught, and those who call me, happy to them too.
Everybody knows you.
Oh, yes, everybody.
You are so loved.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
Before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, family faces Dr. Bonilla's accused killers in emotional court scene. Noreen Williams Guy commented, "Wow, that was a very fast investigation. I just hope thoroughness wasn't sacrificed for speed and to avoid public outcry. The last thing that community and our country in extension need is a mistrial or a collapsed case due to procedural errors or malpractice. Let's ensure the case file is airtight." Very well said, Noreen. Turning to PUC urges vigilance as electricity bills climb, Abner Valladares shared. "About time they stepping in. Something has to be wrong. This is not the first year Belize has experienced extreme heat, so it can only be that. PUC needs to investigate." Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming, and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.